Which has less sodium? Is it table salt or is it sea salt? These are two salts I have literally in my kitchen. You can hear the sea salt rattling around. The crystals are larger, so it sort of makes this noise. And I have to kind of grind it over my food, right? Because they're crystals. You can see that there. As opposed to the table salt. This is regular table salt. It's very fine, kind of like sand. But the question is, which one has less sodium? And which one is healthier for you? I'm going to give you the answer, guys. Oh, but let me first tell you a little bit about the differences between the two, because I think it's really interesting, okay? And by the way, this is according to the American Heart Association. Sea salt is obtained directly through the evaporation of seawater. That's right. It's usually not processed, or it undergoes minimal processing, and therefore it actually retains small levels of, trace levels of minerals like magnesium, potassium, calcium, other nutrients, right? Which is kind of cool. Now, table salt, on the other hand, is actually mined from salt deposits. Again, this is from the American Heart Association. Then it is processed to give it that fine texture that we use in cooking, baking, and recipes and things like that, kind of like sand. The processing tends to strip the table salt of any minerals, and sometimes they actually have to use additives to keep it from clumping. So those are two differences between what we got, our sea salt and then our table salt. But which is healthier, right? Because there are actually some varieties of sea salt that claim to have less sodium than table salt. Is that true or not? We'll talk about that. You want to read labels, let me tell you that. But in terms of healthy in general, believe it or not, most sea salts actually don't offer any real health advantages. Now, I know you guys are saying, hey, but what about these trace minerals, the magnesium, the this and the that? Well, the American Heart Association says the amount of minerals that you can get from sea salt, you can actually get from other foods, healthy foods that you're eating, okay? Another thing you should keep in mind is that sea salt tends to also contain less iodine than table salt, so keep that in mind, okay? Now, let's go to sodium. Big question. Which has less sodium? Because that's the kicker, right? Remember, and I should say this, the American Heart Association and other organizations want us to eat less than 2,300 milligrams of sodium per day. That's about a teaspoon. American Heart Association even wants to push that further down, even potentially closer to 1,500 milligrams per day. So which has less sodium? Well, believe it or not, according to the American Heart Association and many other organizations, table salt and most sea salts all contain about the same amount of sodium. That's right. They all contain about 40% sodium by weight. Believe it or not, the sodium content is generally the same between most sea salts and table salts. Guys, this blows my mind. I thought it might blow your mind too, so I had to tell you, okay? So keep that in mind when you're choosing your salt. By the way, I want you to kind of not choose salt. We want you to minimize the amount of salt in your diet for your heart, for your health, etc., blood pressure, good things like that. But if you choose to use salt, I know you're saying, well, which salt should I choose? Well, I think it comes down to which you prefer. Okay, so remember this. Remember the amount that we want to eat of salt is less than 2,300 milligrams per day, hopefully even less than that, by the way. But yeah, the choice is yours if you do choose to use salt. Let me know if you found this interesting. I certainly did. Let me know which salt you use, which is your favorite, how you go about it. Please share this video with other people you think might benefit from it. For those of you on Facebook, please like and follow my page. For those of you who send stars, I so appreciate you. Also, consider joining my subscription group, Dr. Jen Superstars. On YouTube, please subscribe to my channel, click the little bell for updates, and check out my website, Dr. Jen Caudle, for my free health newsletter and so many other things. Guys, let me know what you think. All right, bye.